everyone, Nazo the Hedgehog here, and welcome back to more Tales of Arise. Last time we pretty much did a whole bunch of things, and today, thanks to Dragonfire, he finally got me another special guest. Why don't you sign in?
Hello everyone, it is the ultimate lifeform Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, great. He didn't tell me who he got me, though. Oh, great. I'm gonna have to have a long talk with him after this.
Oh, I bet you will. I bet you will.
Alright, so let's get started.
Just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head too.
Okay.
Hey, Nath. What? Can't you see I'm Alphin? Looks like you have your hands full. As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Danon disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky. Pretty sure we've heard this.
So what exactly do we have here?
But enough about my
Let's just say, the main character was a slave and he met a lot of people and he's trying to free the slaves from the people that enslaved him.
To get to Lenegus.
Oh, I see.
Lenegus?
So it's kind of like the Prince of Egypt in some ways, only in a different setting.
Yeah, JRPG.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship. Then do you have any historical...
Pretty much right now we're trying to get a starship so we can go up to space.
Mind if we take a look at them?
A starship,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the main character is
Thanks, Nathan.
pretty much 3,000 years from... He's from the past, pretty much, from 300
I read
years.
through all of the records,
From the
but I only
past,
found
you
a single
said.
line that
Yeah.
might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky.
That
and
reminds me
landed
of
past
someone
the
I know
mountains.
that's from the
The
past.
event
No,
was
wait,
recorded
that's
just
Silver's
before
from
the
the
first
future.
Renan invasion.
Silver's from the future, I was gonna say.
I don't know.
I don't know
There
what I was
nothing else in
thinking.
the records that came even close.
Oh yeah, I'm also
It looked
playing
like it was some place
06.
called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
How's that working out for you?
Well, I finished
Yeah,
up
that's
Silver story, working on your story.
I was just there recently.
Oh,
Just
good.
reading a report of a meteor someone saw. Another meteor?
I hope you enjoyed the amount of satisfaction of when I kick
I
Silver in
wonder
the
if
head.
it could have been one of those
Yeah,
meteors
that was
shot out of the
funny.
sky.
Satisfaction from that.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
I guess that's one thing we can agree
The old
on.
Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that.
Even though I do feel a little bit sorry for him for losing
I don't know if it
Blaze,
has anything
but
to do with the meteor.
just a
There's a
little.
giant Zoogle running riot in
I
there.
wouldn't know.
Never seen
I
anything
wasn't
like
even
it.
there at the time.
A Zoogle, huh?
When I turned back,
Well,
it sounds like
that's how
Cybertron,
Blaze
so
got
I
her,
can't tell you much more.
got Iblis
Just
in
be
her.
real careful if you head out that way.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kind of out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cislodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Danon owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why
She
he's
reminds me of
The real
Tails,
reason is that he's still just a baby.
because she's the
Their plumage
knowledgeable
changes color
one.
depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And
Yeah.
with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't
You are
surprise
right.
me
It
if
does
his
remind
wings
me of
ended up
Tails a
looking
little
like a
bit.
colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors? And his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels!
Ew.
Ow, lay off, will ya?
What is that?
Making him docile.
He's supposed to be an owl.
Hoodle
A
takes
baby
pride in
owl.
his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An
Something like
appreciation of
Hedgehog
aesthetic
Gamora
beauty
must
in an
have
owl
gave
so
birth
young.
to.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
You'll notice that a lot of these characters remind you of certain people that we know.
Bird volcano. Oh boy.
Yep.
Huh. I don't know.
Again, we're trying to find a starship, so... But it looks like we have to fight that thing.
Well, let me tell you something. Starships were meant to fly.
What the hell is that thing?
That reminds me of Iblis.
About if I had to guess.
Do you think this
Oh,
might have
man.
been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's
The
astral energy.
girl in the glasses reminds me of Rouge.
Yep.
Thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go.
Which kind of pains me to say it because Rouge doesn't wear glasses.
It's the personality.
Yeah.
There we go. That took
Just like that.
that took quite a while. That fight, was a pain in the butt.
Everyone okay?
Yeah.
A lot of monsters.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah. It wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control
Oh
of
yeah,
Dana.
how's Sonic doing?
If we assume that monster was one of the four
Yeah.
beams of light, we must have
He's
prevented
doing
something from taking
alright.
place here.
Granted, he does drive me crazy a whole bunch, but
But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
in fact, you may have noticed that voice that you just heard was pretty much Elena's
Another big
mom.
fire monster with nothing better to do
I'm
than
pretty
get in our
sure.
way.
I wonder where the rest of those lights ended up landing.
Which really confuses me because I don't think I've ever talked to
Well, whatever they're
Sonic's
after,
mom before.
let's just hope none of them are
Yeah.
anywhere near a city. An ambush on civilians is the last thing we need.
Well, no rest for the wicked, right? Though with 1 down and 3 to go, it sounds like our headache is just beginning.
I thought you liked the opportunity to flex your muscles.
Against those things, it's not like I have.
Yeah,
a
he's
death wish.
strong,
Besides,
so he's
Mom
kinda
doesn't
like
have
Knuckles
to
in a
rule.
way.
Dying stupidly won't
But
be
he's
what-
also gullible and
Yeah, I guess I can't argue
naive,
with that
so...
logic. Sorry.
So he's pretty much like our good old Knucklehead here.
Yep. Our main character with the silver hair, he kind of
Did you
reminds me
remember
of
something?
Sonic, sadly.
No, but I have seen
With
that
his
starship
cheerful
before.
personality and all that.
Yep. And he's the main character, so...
Ugh.
This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegus.
You know, he really bothered me saying how he is the fastest when in
3
reality,
centuries later, and it's no worse for wear.
I
I'll take a look at the internals.
don't know.
Damn, I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah. But you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now.
No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
I guess that makes that we're part of this world as well.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time
Reminds
to
me
prepare
of
for
someone
the
else I
rest of the
know.
trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renin. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renin homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Dana.
Shion. Why does that name sound
None of us want to fight.
Because,
These are the same people who
Kingdom
fired that
Hearts.
wedge down on Dana. What happens
Oh
next
yeah,
is on
that's
them.
right, that black-haired girl.
Yeah.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns.
Yeah, Shion there, she has a curse pretty much, thorns. Pretty much no one can touch her without feeling pain.
Wow.
Where?
Kind of like poison ivy in that sense.
Pretty much.
Shion. Shion!
See, there you go.
Oh boy.
Thorns? But why?
Whoa.
You okay?
And she used her other powers to
You used your
stop
maiden
them.
powers to suppress your thorns. can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Okay, suddenly she's packing heat.
Yeah, it's her weapon. She can summon it anytime she likes.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
Oh, she is not playing around with that.
Nope.
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Come to think of it, isn't that like the other way around? Like if someone moves, then that person will shoot no matter what.
They like each other, but they're keeping it a secret. They're keeping it a secret from each other.
Well, in that case, I guess this situation is kind of reversed then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that...
Now we're learning about her
no matter how
backstory.
I just couldn't die.
And the main reason why she's been trying to do this whole thing.
What's that even?
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before you...
Wow.
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains.
You mean like
Vision of
Mephiles?
oblivion I can't escape.
Now isn't that a
It's all
familiar name?
just a bad dream.
Yep.
But no matter what I tell myself,
I have actually had him on here once.
I know it's not.
And how'd that go for you?
He was okay.
Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns,
I also
right?
had Jet on here as well. But Jet was kind of
I
a...
know what's inside.
how can you guys stand his voice?
Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to
It's
die.
like hearing a mixture
But if I
of
am
Sonic
going to
and
die,
Silver's.
I figure I can at least take
Yeah,
my
how can
thorns
you
out
guys
with-
handle that?
That's
Well, honestly, I
what
wouldn't
I've been
know. I
after
was
this whole
in.
time.
I wasn't even a part of Sonic's adventure with those other guys.
Fight with us, isn't it?
But you have ran into him once or twice, I'm sure.
On living.
Yeah, I may have ran into him once or twice.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well.
Oh my.
It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before.
So kind of like what you, Sonic, and Silver had to deal with.
Then, that I finally came to realize My powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time.
Honestly, I hated every moment of it.
But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegus. When the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore.
Well, that'll be scary.
They will consume all existence.
Real scary.
I mean, we thought that Mephiles was a pain in the butt.
And that's when you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's too much. It's way too much.
When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this.
Wow.
Huh.
I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Don't worry, Hedgehog will fix everything. Even if it means killing that one person that you're close to.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the game.
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope. Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have...
Yeah, I had to edit that part out. Cause you heard that music, right? That would have been a.
Oh yeah, that would have been a copyright.
Yep. So sorry about that, guys, but we're not taking the chance of copyright.
Nope.
But yeah, what do you think of the game so far? I mean,
Well, I can't say that it looks great. Definitely something that I could take a glance at some point.
mm-hmm. It's on the Xbox and PlayStation, and it's also on Steam. But like I said, this game is long, so... Can't believe they had to put music in a very powerful cutscene. How fair is that? That kind of ruined the moment there.
End of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to
I don't
life.
know who the red guy
That's what we all
reminds me
thought.
of because he
Right.
likes to
From
think.
that, we're able to
and
hypothesize how
figure
vast
stuff
concentrations of
out, like-
astral energy can become sentient. Let's return.
He
to
doesn't
when
have the
Shion went to Legion.
tails
When her thorns went
part
live,
though.
they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin.
I haven't
normally
figured
had
him
inside
out
them.
yet.
So you think those
I'm not
thorns
even
might
sure
be
who he
alive too?
reminds me of.
That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire
The only
world?
person I could think of is Finitivus,
that,
but I hardly
really
doubt
cannot say
that.
for certain. Its
Yeah.
goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me?
Riddles. Oh,
When one realizes that the world they once thought to be
don't
true
even
is
get me
but a mere
started on
facade,
riddles.
Oh,
can't
good
help but seek
lord.
the truth. Especially when that deception is led to other
If you know what I'm getting at.
I am
Riddles
Yes,
are the
I
last
do.
thing I
The
want
puzzle that
to
we
do.
seek rests somewhere within
Goodness
Lenny.
gracious.
As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that?
Well, yeah, no one else was offering to hug her in that
Still.
situation.
Even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her.
So wait a minute,
Just
she's
like you
been
did
watching
with
the
the rest
whole
of us.
time?
I just
Ever
want
since
Shion to be
these
all right.
characters
The
join,
ability to
they
touch
keep an
someone
eye on
without the fear of killing them.
Anya.
Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for
Kind of
granted.
creepy when you think about it.
It's not right.
The whole group
You
does
can
it
say that again.
because they're
wrong,
trying to
but
build
The
a
whole-
friendship.
that doesn't make it any
They're
less
trying to build a
important
friendship
for her.
here.
I hope she
I understand that, but the whole
I
group
have
just
my own
watching your
fears.
every
The
move?
world without
Mm.
her, where she dies
I'm
so we
not-
can all survive.
I do not want
Isn't a world I
anyone
want to live in.
just spying on me and whatever I'm trying to
It's
do.
like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Did you know?
I'm pretty sure Sonic does that, doesn't he?
Yeah. I didn't have the slightest idea.
I hope he doesn't,
Every
otherwise
once in a while, I
I'll
thought
beat him
Shion
down
seemed
for
to
that.
rattle off, but I never could have imagined.
Rather
It's
him
like
than
a
me.
completely different world was spinning around me, and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her.
Probably either Sonic or even Silver. I mean, if Silver does it, I'll kick him in the head just like last time.
But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alfred.
I know.
Something about that voice strikes me as
You're the
familiar.
expert on what my dad would say.
I don't
Do
know.
you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
I would say he's either Sora, Post KH2, or freaking Demix.
It could be Demix for all we know.
Yeah,
I mean, we won't know until the end of the game with the credits, so.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard,
Whatever it takes to
how could I?
save Shion.
Now we're
That's
going
exactly
around
right.
talking to the whole group.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Now that actually surprised me on that one. Because she's not one of those type of people that talk like that.
When you think about it, it's actually a pretty powerful speech that she just gave.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No. When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
Oh, good grief, he's doing what you did a long time ago.
It came so naturally
What?
to you, I'm not surprised you
What do you
The
mean?
memory loss.
I was different.
Are you kidding me? Amnesia?
Not even
Yeah.
me. And I knew I would always be
Oh
alone.
my
In that room with Dead Eye,
god.
when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword and to obtain the Renis Alma.
The blazing sword?
But
That's
after
the weapon he
one
uses.
time became two.
I was gonna say.
Before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were
Actually,
Renis.
talking about that
You
sword,
cared
kind of reminds me
about
of
us
the
as you
ultimate
would
sword
any other
inside
people.
of Black Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
Well, that's
Then
horrible.
I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water.
Well, let's see.
I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Who knows how long that'll be?
Thank you.
For some reason, that girl reminded me of someone else. Who was it though?
So high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Oh no.
Speaking of which, is Bucket a
Wow.
name?
You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
How do you know that the ship's a girl?
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking
Hold on,
something
what?
Fall Knight.
They think the ship's a girl.
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Well, can't say I was terribly surprised.
Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
All
What?
Knights. That's an
We have two
interesting name.
First, we need to get to Lenegus and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, and let's go.
Alright, now we're going up to space.
Oh joy.
Well, you're from space.
Space.
You're from space, so you should be used to it.
I know I should be used to it, but too many memories in space.
You know, I can still
Memories I
hardly
shouldn't even
believe it.
remember.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective.
Wow.
The differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
Wow.
Lenegus.
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
You think?
The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
People just say autopilot
In
for
that case,
short.
she's all yours.
Dang.
Is something wrong?
No, I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegus? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me though, you too have a history with Lenegus. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
See?
Totally.
Exactly what my philosophy is. The past is in the past.
There you go.
Come back and
And you should move on from it.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called
Dang.
it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean they experimented
A
on you?
guinea pig.
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took.
Well, that's sad. She
Day
didn't
in
even
and
have
day
a
out,
life on
every
there.
single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I
I'm
forget
sorry,
it?
dissect her?
Reeling from the pain,
Mm-hmm.
like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched, helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition, unable to so much as touch another soul? Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right?
He does have a point.
It's used to justify
Yeah, how is that?
as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it, the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have
Oh
to.
boy.
It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
Hey, Alvin, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
And what's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that...
Afraid of flying? Oh, good lord.
Wait, what?
Hey,
Oh.
I never said I was scared.
Wow.
I just think it's, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
No.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alvin. It's just wrong, okay?
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it.
She gets
That
seasick.
device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering
That's why he
it looks big
mentioned
enough
that.
to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't
Dragon
say.
Ball Z
That
reference
should
much?
definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lennigus, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control.
You know, the further we go along, the more I start to get triggered hearing all this.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things
I'm
one
sorry,
step at
did
a
he
time.
just say Sora?
Is everyone about ready?
Yeah, I
We'll
think
soon be making
so.
preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what
Oh,
exactly
boy.
should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lennigus.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lennigus was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society.
Oh
Its social
boy.
structure is based on a strict hierarchy.
Right.
Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still,
Wow.
even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
Wow.
Separating people into castes.
Dang.
Arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lennigus?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
Oh boy.
About your thorns out there, Shion. We'll find them.
Oh boy, if that doesn't scream space colony arc, I don't know what does.
Right. I've never been up there myself.
You have no idea.
I think Dragonfire's been there once.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting to welcome that, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna be coming across
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody
monsters.
while we're here.
Monsters.
So
Well,
now,
I'm pretty
we've come all
sure.
this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any
Any kind of
idea where we should
preview of what
start
those
looking?
specific monsters are.
Zoogles.
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden Zone.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know.
Forbidden
It's
Zone.
my
Where
desire
have
to
I
find
heard
out.
that?
Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember
In any
now.
case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
I do
Shion's
agree.
right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Good lord.
I'm sorry.
But let it come from someone that actually says he has
Would
the
you two children
EBGs.
stop
Oh
squabbling?
boy.
Or do you
I'm
want
done.
everyone to know what you're
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zoogles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's
Right.
Zoogles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Lenegis, okay. Those buildings look interesting. Almost looks like Kingdom Valley.
Only a more futuristic Kingdom Valley.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
You feeling alright? When Lenegus changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down
Freaking
the
Owen has
But
freaking
they wouldn't
Sonic's
move
mom.
around places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the
You know
citizens
she means
themselves
well,
didn't have much
but
say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohaline? Is that you?
for a minute I thought he said something about dopamine.
I'm glad to see
No,
you well.
Dovaline. That's the
So it is.
red-haired
But
guy's
why are
name.
you here?
Okay,
Shouldn't
good,
you be
because
down
if he said
on Dana
dopamine, I'll be like,
participating in the
what?
contest? And these people.
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohaline. Don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone
Dang.
the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to
Well,
find a
that's
way there
unfortunate.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back?
Just to let you know,
You know
he's
it can only result in
pressing a
pain for you
memory
both.
that he doesn't want people to know.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
Nerd.
Yep.
Take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said
What,
is
can you
true,
blame him? He's just
it would
curious.
seem the people of Lenegus
Yeah.
are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just
I mean,
as clueless about what's going
we
on
would
up
be
here
a
in
little
their own
confused
world.
if we
Despite
if
the
we
fact
found
that
out
it's actually
someone-
here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information.
True enough.
Let's talk to the
Then
citizens.
again, I
See what we can find
suppose
out.
me and Sonic were confused when you were brought back in that
And
cyber
don't forget
form you
about
had.
finding the way to the Forbidden Zone.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danas
But again,
sticking
it
their
took
noses
both
around.
you
Good
and
idea.
Sonic to
I think
fuse to
that's for
beat
the
me.
best.
Don't forget
I
that.
shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegus has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
But I
What
do
could be
have
so
to wonder
important
which of
about
us is
what's
the
destroying
true ultimate
people's
life form.
livelihoods and homes in the process? It's just
Again, like I said, it took you and
uprooting
Sonic
an
to
entire
fuse
city
to
as
beat
if it were
me.
mere building blocks. Someone's got
Yeah,
an
but that was
awful
only
lot
a
of
last
questions to answer.
resource kind of thing.
From how it looks.
Not like we had
They
any
must be
choice.
siphoning off astral energy from Dana and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using
I'm
all
no
that energy for the
pushover.
crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
This Forbidden Zone.
Zarda, we don't have time.
Where
to
have I
stop.
heard that? Oh, wait a minute, that's right. If you may not know,
I've been wondering.
there was an episode on Sonic Said I Am that I watched.
Made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Yeah, they had Robotnik
None of this happened
doing
by
something to try to
coincidence,
get
right?
into the Forbidden
They must
Zone
have designed it to
about
transform
someone
like
named
this.
Lazar.
Then, if they knew
Oh,
people
boy.
were going to live here, you'd think they
Yeah.
would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the
I think
city
it also
was
had
just
something to
built
do
on
with
as
the
an
Guardian
afterthought.
of the Forbidden
But
Zone.
if so,
Could be.
to what exactly?
Sorry, that probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure.
She does have a
will find
point.
answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zugos have stopped heeding our commands.
Why does that sound like Orba?
Whatever did we do to deserve this?
Could be the same
You
person
really
for
have
all
no
we know.
clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana.
Good lord, they're all...
The contender I was backing failed to clinch
Just
the
because he's a
title and
lord
returned.
doesn't mean you have
I
to be
witnessed the
like
deaths of
so
many slaves.
crazy like this. My god.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
A woman dressed in red. I wonder if that woman has extremely long hair, dreadlocks even.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder who that could be.
You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find
Hey,
her?
we ask questions because we're curious, alright?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to
That
take
guy's
up
a
your time.
jerk from what I can tell.
Extremely.
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to
18?
head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
How many attempts have you tried?
Tavern knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the
Good
crown
lord, how many times do we have to
Strange,
tell
isn't it?
people?
If you know another route, I'd be grateful if you could tell us.
That gets annoying.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought
I
maybe
swear,
it was a
this,
passageway between the different
if we
courts.
allowed alcohol in this, we totally could have made this a drinking game. But no.
I shall go and assess the situation.
There's nothing wrong with
Wait for me
Dr.
here.
Pepper.
If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle would stop listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens
they
here
do
is
have a
attributed to
point.
the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Jeez.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule.
Yeah, I do have to agree on that.
Would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself.
Another place in space we have to go to.
But what about trade?
Good
Are you
lord.
serious?
There's got to be surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly.
But we might not
It
get...
could be a one-way
That's
street.
probably going to be a while
I thought
off.
you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really
It's totally
rule
gonna be a
directly
side
over
quest
Lenegis
and
from
know
so
what it
far
is.
away?
Oh,
What if
good
something were to happen
lord.
to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign, though it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered.
Yay, more questions.
Someone
Someone gets to everyone but the Sovereign. That seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
We're probably never gonna get the answers.
Probably not. Probably not.
To another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it. I didn't realize Renin suppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Oh!
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early.
Then maybe we were just wasting everyone's time here.
Yeah, exactly.
I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
Wow.
I don't quite follow.
Wow.
It's called friendly intimidation.
Oh,
You can
that
buzz
is
in,
so
speak in a
cringe.
deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it. How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Wow.
Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying.
And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
There's something I just don't
Yeah, they took that way too
The
seriously.
crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallin, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown
You know,
himself
I was
on
gonna
Lenegis?
say, that one guy in particular sounds a lot like another red-haired guy.
Same thing goes for the
Yeah,
sovereign that came before him.
Knuckles.
Now that you mention it,
No, not
I
him.
don't recall anyone ever
The
being
other
away
redhead.
from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
I mean, Fenativis
You
is
here. It's
gray,
as if you're conditioned
pretty
not
much
to notice all these
white-haired,
strange
so...
No. Not the echidnas. You fool.
A new
Well, then
race
I
allies
must be missing
supposedly
someone.
created to coincide with every crown contest.
I'm talking about another
Each victor is
particular
awarded a
redhead with green eyes.
If that's true,
And
there
his,
should be
Oh, you're talking
for me to
about...
get him memorized.
Oh, you're talking about
Going on what
Axel.
we witnessed in Collegiate,
Yep.
it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some
Dark
answers.
Master
No use
Core.
standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Oh boy.
Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already.
You get it? She has a grudge against him.
Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill? I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Okay, that was embarrassing to
Just to let you know, that was the red woman that they've been looking for. Another thing, she was mentioning the fact that Dofalim accidentally killed her fiance, who was his friend. So yeah, there you go. She's been holding a grudge against him on that ever since.
Okay then.
Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna end it here. So, is there anything you would like to say to the audience before we leave?
The moral of this part is, what in the world did we just watch?
You mean you watched? I played the game.
What in the world did we watch? Not me specifically, but we.
Because again, I'm the one playing the game.
You know what? My final thoughts are exactly like the questions that they have in the game, but answers that will probably never get answered at all.
Well, anyway, thank you guys again for watching. Make sure that you check out Shadow's channel. And, yeah, I don't know if Shadow will be coming back for the next part, but I will see you guys in part 15 of Tales of Arise. Catch you guys next time. Goodbye.